The sound of relentless rain echoed across cities, towns, and rural communities as one of the most intense flooding events in recent memory unfolded across parts of China. What began as days of persistent heavy rainfall quickly transformed into a widespread natural disaster. With swollen rivers overflowing their banks, streets disappearing beneath muddy water, and thousands of residents watching helplessly as floodwaters invaded homes, businesses, and public buildings. This is the story of a disaster caught on camera, where dramatic footage revealed the incredible force of nature. Videos recorded by local residents, emergency responders, surveillance cameras, and eyewitnesses spread rapidly across television broadcasts and social media, showing scenes that seemed almost impossible to believe. Entire neighborhoods became temporary lakes, vehicles floated through city streets, and first-floor apartments disappeared beneath rising floodwaters within hours. Welcome to our documentary covering one of the latest extreme weather disasters in China. Throughout this report, we examine the devastating flooding, the rescue operations, the impact on communities, and the incredible determination shown by emergency teams working around the clock. The disaster developed after days of exceptionally heavy rain associated with powerful storm systems moving across several provinces. Meteorologists warned that rainfall totals were reaching extraordinary levels in many locations, overwhelming rivers, drainage systems, reservoirs, flood control infrastructure. As rainfall continued without significant breaks, river levels rose rapidly. Streams that normally carried calm flows transformed into raging torrents. 8 major rivers experienced dangerous water level increases, forcing authorities to monitor conditions continuously while emergency crews prepared for possible evacuations. Residents living near rivers and low-lying districts watched the water rise hour after hour. At first, many believed the flooding would remain manageable. However, conditions deteriorated far faster than expected. Soon the streets began filling with fast-moving water. Sidewalks disappeared. Road markings vanished beneath muddy carpets. Storm drains could no longer handle the enormous volume of water pouring into the cities. The flood spread block after block. In many residential neighborhoods, water entered underground parking garages before rising onto the streets above. Elevators were shut down as electricity was disconnected in affected buildings for safety. Families rushed to move vehicles, furniture, electronics, and important documents to higher floors, but in numerous cases, the water advanced too quickly. Some residents had only minutes to leave. Videos captured heartbreaking scenes inside apartment buildings. First-floor homes became completely submerged as muddy floodwater rushed through doors and windows. Living rooms, kitchens, bedrooms, and hallways disappeared beneath brown water, carrying debris from surrounding streets. Furniture floated across rooms, refrigerators tipped over. Children's toys drifted silently through flooded apartments. Personal belongings collected over decades were suddenly lost beneath rising water. For many families, everything changed within a single afternoon. The disaster quickly expanded beyond residential neighborhoods. Major roads became impassable as floodwaters covered highways and intersections. Traffic came to a complete standstill in several districts, while emergency officials urged drivers to avoid unnecessary travel. Cars became trapped in rapidly rising water. Some vehicles floated away entirely. Others remained partially submerged, with only their roofs visible above the flood. Emergency rescue teams worked tirelessly to reach stranded motorists before conditions became even more dangerous. Across the affected areas, rescue boats replaced ordinary transportation. Inflatable boats navigated streets that had transformed into rivers. Emergency crews traveled between apartment complexes, searching for elderly residents, families with young children, and anyone unable to evacuate independently. Every rescue required careful planning. Fast-moving currents hit open manholes, damaged pavement, fallen power poles, and submerged vehicles. Even experienced rescue personnel faced constantly changing hazards while attempting to reach those trapped by floodwaters. Helicopter footage revealed the full scale of the disaster.
Oh shit!
From above, entire districts appeared submerged beneath muddy water, stretching far beyond the visible horizon. Parks, parking lots, sports fields, shopping centers, schools, and residential blocks blended into one enormous flooded landscape. The images quickly attracted international attention. Major news organizations, including Reuters, BBC News, CNN, Associated Press, CGTN, Sky News, and Al Jazeera, reported on the developing emergency as meteorologists continued monitoring the evolving weather situation. Disaster specialists explained that prolonged heavy rainfall creates one of the most dangerous flooding scenarios because saturated ground loses its ability to absorb additional water. Instead of soaking into the soil, every new wave of rainfall rapidly flows into rivers, draining channels, and urban streets. This process can dramatically accelerate flash flooding. Even locations that rarely experience significant flooding will suddenly find themselves underwater once drainage capacity is exceeded. That is exactly what happened across numerous communities. Residents described hearing constant emergency alerts throughout the day. Mobile phones received weather warnings, while local authorities urged people to remain indoors whenever possible and avoid flooded streets. Many families gathered on upper floors, watching helplessly through windows as water continued climbing staircases and surrounding buildings. The emotional impact was overwhelming. Parents tried to reassure frightened children. Neighbors checked on elderly residents. Volunteers organized supplies wherever access remained possible. Emergency workers continued operating despite relentless rain, difficult visibility, and rapidly changing flood conditions. The determination shown by rescue personnel became one of the defining stories of the disaster. Working day and night, firefighters, emergency medical teams, police officers, engineers, and volunteers coordinated rescue missions in neighborhoods isolated by rising water. Inflatable rescue boats traveled repeatedly through flooded streets, delivering food, drinking water, medical assistance, and helping residents reach safer locations. Meanwhile, meteorologists continued tracking additional storm clouds approaching the already saturated region. Every new rainfall forecast increased concern.